name is Aji, and over the last week, we saw the 2-year anniversary of Fortnite Battle Royale's release. Since it was introduced to the world, Fortnite has taken the world by storm, with it becoming a huge part of pop culture, like no other video game in recent memory. However, although the game still remains incredibly popular, it's no longer at the peak of its popularity, with many people giving up on the game in the last year or so. Some will say it's because the game changed for the worse, some will say they just got bored. But for a lot of people, the main reason they gave up is due to the skill gap, with it incredibly difficult to keep up with the player base, unless you're willing to put in the time and effort to improve at the game. To combat this, in the last week, Epic released a blog post stating that there will be major changes coming to matchmaking, with skill-based matchmaking introduced to all playlists, as well as literal computer-controlled bots being added to each game, starting in Season 11. Inevitably, these changes have been a huge talking point in the world of Fortnite, with some believing that this could be an amazing change, and others claiming that this could ruin the game completely. So in today's video, we're going to be breaking down these changes, and deciding whether this will have a good impact on the game, or a negative impact. So for those that haven't read the blog post yet, this is what they say about the latest change to matchmaking. Since Battle Royale launched, the matchmaking strategy for our core modes has remained mostly unchanged. Over the past 2 years, however, the range of player skill has grown considerably. In Arena, we used height-based matchmaking to ensure players are matched evenly across all platforms. In the V10.4 update, we've introduced improved matchmaking logic to Battle Royale core modes to create fairer matches. What does this mean? You'll be more likely to match with players of similar skill, and as you get better, so should your opponents. We will slowly roll this out to all regions across Battle Royale core modes, as we test and monitor how it performs. We're excited to get this out for everyone to play with, and we'll continue to update the system. We'll update you when it's fully live across all regions, to get your feedback as you try it out. They then go on to say that in the next season, we're adding bots to Fortnite. They will behave similarly to normal players, and will help provide a better path for players to grow in skill. Bots will work in conjunction with the new matchmaking system, and as your skill improves, you'll face fewer bots. Bots will not be present in competitive playlists. This is another system that we will continue to update and iterate. Unsurprisingly, there was a huge reaction online when this was announced, and although it was definitely met with a somewhat polarising response, some big names in the community were all for this, making some good points about the subject. You had Liquid Chap, who said, adding bots will allow new players to actually learn the game, which I think is a very fair point. It gives them more of an opportunity to learn how the game works, in a slightly less pressured environment. Therefore, this will make the game far less intimidating for new players, which is essential. For Fortnite to keep growing, they have to be able to appeal to new players. And you don't learn much from loading into a game and then instantly dying to a guy building the Eiffel Tower and then trickshotting you. But if players know that they can learn at their own pace, then they will be able to enjoy it a lot more. Also, with Fortnite introducing skill-based matchmaking, this will really help the players that are average or worse, as in a lobby with a mixed range of abilities, they would have little chance of doing well. However, when placed in a lobby with people around their skill level, they will actually have a chance of winning. Granted, still only a slim chance, but it will at least be more likely than before. This will be great for the casual section of the player base, who are the vast majority of players, as it means they can continue playing casually, maybe only once or twice a week, but still have a chance of doing well and having fun. And appeasing your casual players is vital for any game. Otherwise, the player base will crumble. We're not entirely sure how the matchmaking works, but Epic says that as soon as you improve as a player, you'll be placed against tougher opponents. And actually, this is kinda similar to what they've done in Call of Duty and other multiplayer games, where new players are all placed in the same lobbies, until they eventually move into the normal lobbies, once they've experienced the game enough, and reached a certain level. Therefore, making their introduction to the game a lot easier than if they were simply thrown into the deep end, like has been happening in Fortnite for so long now. Also, due to anyone and everyone playing pubs before, regardless of skill level, it meant that Epic felt like they had to introduce new weapons and items to help bridge the gap between good players and bad players, therefore giving everyone a chance of winning. This saw the Infinity Blade introduced in Season 7, as well as the Brutes in Season 10, both of which were incredibly unpopular with the community as a whole. However, if they no longer have to protect bad players from good players, it suddenly negates the need for any game-breaking and overpowered items in the future, which I know a lot of people will be happy about, including myself. So although these changes to matchmaking will certainly help a lot of the lower skilled players, for the more hardcore, experienced players, these changes could be almost game ruining. And the main reason for this is that for these players, every single match will become a sweat fest. What I love about Fortnite is that there are so many ways you can improve at the game and become a better player. However, with skill-based matchmaking added to pubs, you'll never see the reward of your hard work, because as soon as you improve, you'll face tougher opponents. Every single fight will feel tough, no matter how much you improve at the game, as you'll always be facing players around your skill level. Like me personally, I've done my best to improve at the game, so that I'll be able to keep beating my kill record. However, now that skill-based matchmaking has been added, the chance of this happening is even smaller, even if I get better, as I'll always be put against tough opponents. And what's the point in trying to become a better player when you're not even likely to do much better in game? Therefore, any progression in skill level is basically pointless. Also, suddenly, there's nowhere you can go to relax and play casually, as you will always have to try hard, as you'll be facing those around your skill level. Speaking from personal experience, I already found the move to PC servers to be a tough, mentally draining experience. And that's coming from someone who's an above average player. So now that I'm going to be playing against even tougher opponents, I can see it becoming even more draining, and overall, a lot less fun. I played a few games the other night, and the amount of massive build fights I saw was ridiculous. A few times I'd go to third party a fight, see some of the stuff they were doing, and think, nah, I'll pass on this one, and turn back, as I know that I probably wouldn't stand a chance against any of them, and I would have never done that before. I really do think that this change really hurts the middle class of the Fortnite player base. What I mean by that is that for those players who were above average, had spent time learning the game and how to improve, but were nowhere near pro level, like myself, this change means that we're going to get fewer kills and fewer wins, as we're up against tougher players now. But we're not even going to benefit from the practice of playing against good players, as we aren't pros looking to challenge ourselves constantly. Also, if we're adding a skill-based matchmaking to pubs, then what's the point of Arena? The whole point of a ranked mode is that it puts you against players around your own skill level. Not everyone wants to sweat Arena every time they play, but if we play pubs, we're basically playing Arena without Siphon. And who actually wants that? Arena has been there for a while now, for when you want to go full tryhard, with pubs there's a more relaxed option. So although there are clearly a lot of positives to come from the change to matchmaking, my overall feelings on it are certainly mixed. But what would I like to see happen? Well, I might be biased, but I think pubs need reverting to how they were before. But that's not to say that we should give up on skill-based matchmaking, because we definitely shouldn't. But if Epic wants everyone to be able to play Fortnite and have a chance of winning, then they need to put more emphasis on Arena. It needs big improvements, tighter matchmaking, clear divisions where you can get promoted and relegated, depending on your performance, as well as rewards for playing it. That way, everyone will feel motivated to play it, regardless of your skill level, like they do in some of the best PvP games out there. Arena is merely an afterthought for most players, when it has the potential to be the go-to mode. Every successful game out there has a quick play option, without skill-based matchmaking. It's useful for casual play of all skill levels. And then if players want to test themselves, play against others around their own skill level, and earn a few rewards on the way, then that is what ranked is for. We don't need this weird, crappy position we're in now, where we have sweaty, tiring pubs, and sweaty, yet still unrewarding Arena. The only skill-based matchmaking that I don't mind in pubs is if they do it like other games out there, where they put all the brand new players into the same lobbies, until they're experienced enough to be put against the rest of us. Granted, this would inevitably lead to smurfing, but it's still a better option than putting them against an entire lobby of experienced players. Epic will definitely make adjustments, as they're looking for our feedback, and hopefully they will actually give us some more insight into how the matchmaking actually works, as they've been very coy on the subject so far. Like, what contributes to you being put into tougher lobbies? What happens if you're playing in a squad of mixed abilities? What's the range of skill levels put into a lobby? There are so many questions we need answering. And although I'd like them to revert the matchmaking, I'm not sure if that's what Epic will end up doing, or even if that would be popular with the community. I mean, Ali posted a poll online after Epic's blog asking what people think about this change to matchmaking, and 67% were happy with it. So maybe I'm in the minority on this, which is completely fine. We're all allowed to form our own opinions, and I don't expect everyone to agree with me, even the people watching the video. So, what do you think about the changes to matchmaking? Have you noticed any difference? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you want to support me as a content creator, then feel free to use my creator code, which is on screen now. So anytime you buy something in the item shop and use my code, it will go directly towards supporting the channel, which would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe for more. And I'll see you next time for another video. Goodbye.